Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Western adventure. The real, original adult Western, Gunsmoke. As it was originally broadcast September 27th, 1954, William Conrad starring as Marshal Matt Dillon in this episode entitled The Helping Hand.
Gunsmoke. Around Dodge City and into territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
I swear, Mr. Dillon, it seems like we've been riding with that cottonwood grove the last 2 hours.
Well, that's because you started thinking about it before you even saw it, Chester.
It's water I've been thinking about. I won't never make it to Dodge without water.
You'll make it.
Not saying I won't.
Wait a minute, Chester. Look over there.
Who are they? What are they doing in there?
Well, the man on the paint horse is Bill Pence, Emmett Bauer's foreman. The other two must be riders of his.
Yeah, but that kid they've got... Look, his hands is tied behind his back.
They haven't seen us yet, Chester. Let's ride closer.
What's Pence taking down his rope for? What? Well, Mr. Dillon, you know what they're doing?
Yeah, only they're not gonna do it.
They've seen us now.
Hello, Pence.
What are you doing out here, Marshal?
I'm on my way into Dodge. Does Bowers know what's going on out here?
Marshal, I'm foreman of this outfit. Emmett Bowers don't question how I handle things.
Whose horse is that kid sitting on?
What?
The boy there, is that his horse?
Well, yeah, it's his horse. Why?
Chester,
Yes, sir?
go untie his hands.
Here, wait a minute.
Go on,
Marshal.
Chester. And if anybody interferes with you, I'll shoot him.
Okay, Mr. Dillon.
You're making trouble, Marshal.
Pence, you know me. You know I won't stand for lynching. And you know I'll kill you if I have to.
Yeah, I think you would. But this still ain't none of your business, Marshal. I caught that boy.
I don't care what you
run
caught
off.
him trying to do. I'm taking him into Dodge, and if you want to ride in and make your charges against him legally, you'll be there. And you can thank your luck I came by here before you got your own neck in a noose. Because I'd have caught you for this, Pence, and I'd have followed you to California for it. Now you get out of here. All 3 of you. Oh, morning, Chester.
Morning, Mr. Dillon.
How's the boy this morning?
Fine. Except he's wondering when you're going to turn him loose.
Well, I saw Emmett Bowers and Bill Pence riding up the street when I came in. Maybe we'll learn the truth about all this now.
The boy swears he ain't lying.
Yeah, maybe he isn't. Now, here they come.
Marshal Dillon. Custer.
Morning, Mr. Bowers.
Hello, Bowers. Vance.
I told Mr. Bowers the whole story, Marshal.
Did you?
He did, Marshal. What you called a lynching wasn't going to be no lynching at all.
No?
No. It was just a hanging. Pence and them 2 riders of mine caught that fella trying to run off a bunch of my cattle. That's cattle thieving, Marshal, and where I come from, that's a hanging offense.
The law, Bowers. The law decides who hangs and who doesn't.
The law's too slow. Now, cow thieves has got to be hung when you catch
I
them.
told you yesterday, Finch, you lynch anybody out there and I'll come after you. I don't care what you call it. No, I'm not going to argue about this, gentlemen.
We'll worry about that later. Right now, I want to know what you're going to do with that thief.
Well, I haven't decided yet, Bowers. But I'll tell you what he told me.
I ain't interested in what he told you.
Listen anyway. He said he didn't steal any cows, and what's more, he wasn't going to.
Well, that's a lie, Marshal. Me and the men watched him cut 15 head out.
And then did he leave him and start to ride away, or didn't he?
Oh, well, sure, he started to ride away. He either seen this or he was coming back and drive him off at night, one or the other.
He says he changed his mind. He realized he couldn't do it even though he started to.
You believe a thieving kid rather than a man like Bill Pence, Marshal?
I don't know who I believe yet, Bowers.
Let's get out of here, Pence.
Yes, sir.
Marshal Dillon, I'll be mighty interested in what you decide to do about this. So will every other cattleman I know of.
I want to talk to that boy, Chester.
He's right back there waiting.
Oh, Marshal.
Unlock the cell, Chester.
Yes, sir.
You said your name's Steve Elser. Is that true?
I got no reason to lie about my name, Marshal.
Where are you from?
San Juan Mountains, Marshal, over in Colorado.
What are you doing in Kansas?
I'm 18 and figured it was time to leave home.
Why?
I'd have killed my pa or he'd have killed me if I'd stayed.
Yeah.
He ain't let me sleep in the house since I was 10, Marshal. Sometimes he don't even let my ma sleep in the house.
Why not?
Oh, nothing my pa does makes much sense. I think he got his brains knocked loose about 10 years back. Time a grizzly bear slapped him in the head. It most likely killed him, and I wished it had.
I see. Tell me about those cattle of Emmett Bowers, Elser. You admit you started to steal them.
Oh, shucks, I'd have never done it, Marshal. Not really. I was just kind of seeing how easy it'd be.
Well, you found out. Pence and his riders were watching you the whole time.
I know. They told me.
Well, there's one thing about you. At least you don't carry a gun.
Maybe I'd better.
No. Look, Elser, I believe you. And I'm going to turn you loose. But on one condition.
What's that?
That you get a job. Work at it. Prove you're honest. And I'm going to give you a week to find one.
Oh, Marshal, I've been working all my life. I'm tired.
I'll give you a week, Elser. And if you don't have a job by then, you're going to have to leave the country.
September 27th, 1954, Gunsmoke here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Gunsmoke, September 27th, 1954.
Evening, Matt.
Oh, sit down, Doc.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Oh, my.
The street looks pretty quiet tonight.
Oh, it's early yet, Doc.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, Chester was telling me about that boy, Elser.
Yeah. I hope I was right turning him loose this morning.
Uh-huh. Well, Matt, it sounds to me like he's one of those fellows that's just about to go bad. A push one way or the other can make the whole difference.
Well, I guess it's worth a chance, Doc.
Yeah, most all of us have had a little help somewhere along the way. Otherwise, there'd be nothing but thieves and crooks walking around. I bet you did, Matt. Or you wouldn't be trying to help this boy.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, anyway, he didn't steal those cows.
No, but he came a lot closer to it than a man should, Doc.
Mr. Dillon? Yeah. Oh, hello, Doc.
Good evening, Chester.
You better step into the Oliver Gander, Mr. Dillon. Pence is in there about to have a fight with young Elser.
What?
It's not a gunfight. Elser ain't armed, but he's making Pence awful mad.
I will see you later, Doc.
So long, Matt.
What's Elser up to, Chester?
Well, sir, he's been bragging to Pence about his not getting to hang him, about not being in jail and all. It ain't improving Pence's temper none.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
Hello, John. Is Elser drunk?
Well, he's been drinking, but he ain't drunk.
Well, he won't find a job hanging around saloons.
No, sir. Over there at the bar, Mr. Dillon.
Now, you just shut up and get yourself out of here, little thief.
I ain't a thief. I ain't a murderer either, Pence.
Oh, I told you for the last time, Elser.
All right, that's enough, Pence. Don't kick him.
Well, then throw him in jail where he belongs, Marshal. I just ain't gonna listen to his talk.
You don't have to. I'll handle him.
You'll handle him. You sure done fine so far.
Hit me. I'll kill you for this, Pence.
Shut up, Elser. Now get up on your feet.
I didn't hurt you, but I sure will next time. And there won't be no marshal around to nurse you, Elser.
I didn't come to Dodge to get kicked around. Not no more. Not never.
You ain't even got half of what's coming to you, kid.
Leave him alone, Pence. Now, you, Elser, I told you to go find a job, you remember?
A job? It's a gun I'm going to find me. He wouldn't have hit me if I'd been carrying a gun.
You start wearing a gun and I'll throw it in the Arkansas and you went after it. Come over here a minute. I'm giving you a chance to make good, Elser, but it's not going to last forever. Now you get out of here and start doing something about it. The next day, I had to go up to Fort Larned on government business. But before I left, I talked to a couple of ranchers who were in town about hiring on Steve Elser. However, they'd heard about him and said I was making a big mistake trying to help a boy that was headed for the end of a rope. Well, I argued with them, but it was no use. And I decided I'd try to find him a job in town to start with. I was gone 2 days, and the night I got back, I went over to the Texas Trail looking for Chester. He wasn't there, but Kitty was.
I saw Chester about an hour ago, Matt. He didn't expect you back till tomorrow.
It didn't take as much time as I thought, Kitty. Tell me about things here, huh?
Well, nobody's been shot or hung I know of. There's one thing I don't like, though.
Oh, what's that, Kitty?
You know Ben Hander?
For one reason or another, I've thrown Ben Hander in jail at least 10 times.
Well, he and Steve Elser have been running together the last couple of days.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's mighty poor company for Elser.
I think you're wasting your time trying to help that kid, Matt. As much as I admire your reasons.
He isn't wearing a gun, is he?
Not so far.
I don't like this, Kitty. Could be that all Ben Hander needs to get into real trouble's a partner. Somebody just like Elser who'll kind of look up to him, egg him on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping the boy'd done something about finding a job.
Maybe you've been too easy on him, Matt.
I've done what I thought was right, Kitty.
I know.
Has Bill Pence been around, or Bowers?
No. But I heard Bowers has spread it all over the country how the law turned a cow thief loose.
Oh, sure, I expected that.
Well, you can't blame people for wondering about it.
No, but I can sure blame Bowers for backing up Pence on a lynching. If he's going to talk about the law, why doesn't he start with that?
Matt.
What?
Look around. Headed for the bar.
Yeah. I'm going to have a talk with him, Kitty. I'll see you later.
Sure.
Hello, Elser.
Oh, Marshal. Heard you was out of town.
I got back tonight.
You gonna buy us a drink, Marshal?
Not likely, Hander.
That ain't very friendly.
You found a job yet, Elser?
No. No, I ain't.
You been looking?
Oh, some.
Where?
Here and there.
Where?
Oh, it's no use, Marshal. First man I asked said nobody'd hire me. Anyway, there's no lawman's got to have a job.
You got to have one.
Lay off him, Marshal. He ain't done nothing.
Of course I ain't. Why's everybody always kicking me around?
Now, you think that's what I'm doing?
Everybody is. Makes me ashamed. Nobody'll trust me.
Elser, I'll help you find a job tomorrow. Around Dodge somewhere.
But I told you nobody...
People will trust you as soon as you prove to them that they can.
No, they won't. Besides, I don't want no job. I just don't want one.
There's no other way, Elser. You find a job by tomorrow night or get out.
Oh, you can't do that. You give him a week before...
I changed my mind, Hunter, since he's met you.
What's that got to do with it?
You're no good. And sooner or later, he'll be in trouble. So he's got to move faster now.
You got no right to talk that way about me, Marshal.
Why not? Well, why not?
Oh, leave him be, Marshal. Leave me be, too. I'll make out all right. I always do.
Oh, you made out fine in that cottonwood grove, Elser. So far, you're not doing much better here. Now, you come see me tomorrow night and you have a job. And if you think I don't mean what I say, you ask Hander here. He knows me. Maybe Kitty was right about my being too easy on young Elser. But as I found out next day, being hard on him didn't work any better. I just had breakfast at a little Mexican place at the edge of town, and I was walking back into the plaza when I noticed a small crowd in front of the Overland Express Company. I started across to find out what was going on when Chester spotted me and came running over.
He shot him, Mr. Dillon. He shot the clerk in there.
Who shot him?
Ben Hander. He tried to hold the place up about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, where is he? Did he get away?
Well, they say some men chased him down to the OK stable, and they've got him trapped in there.
All right, come on.
I talked to the clerk. Doc's with him now. It was Ben Hander alone, Mr. Dillon. Elser wasn't with him.
Oh. He got any money?
No, sir. Some men heard shooting, come running across the plaza right away, and Hander got scared and left.
I wonder where the boy is.
Nobody ain't seen him I talked to.
Yeah. How bad's the clerk, Chester?
Oh, he took one bullet in the shoulder. It's going to hurt some, but it won't kill him. Look, there they are, Mr. Dillon. 4 or 5 of them, looks like, spread out around the stable there. I guess he must be waiting for you.
Good.
Hey, that one right there, ain't that Bill Penn?
Yeah, it is. Pence? Hey, Bill Pence.
Yeah. Well, we got him, Marshal. He's in that stable there. No way for him to leave. Without getting shot.
Okay. I want you and the other men to stay where you are, Pence. I'll go on after him.
Well, he's armed, Marshal.
Sure.
We could set fire to the place.
But with horses in there?
Oh, I forgot about them.
Chester.
Yes, sir?
Wait here till I yell for you, huh?
Well, Mr. Dillon, if it's okay, I'd like to come up to the door with you.
All right, sure. If he gets past us, Pence, shoot him.
We sure will, Marshal.
That door swings out, Chester. Now that you're here, you can pull it open, but stay behind it. I'll go in alone.
Okay, sir.
Hander! Hander! Marshal Dillon.
The conclusion of Gunsmoke, The Helping Hand, from September 27th, 1954, follows these important words on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the sad conclusion to The Helping Hand, an episode of Gunsmoke, September 27th, 1954.
You stay where you are, Marshal.
You can't get away, Hander. There are 5 men waiting out here for you. Now, don't be a fool. That clerk you shot isn't hurt bad. If you try to run now, you'll die for it.
I didn't kill him?
No. I'm coming in, Hander. It won't do you any good to shoot me, Hander, so you might as well give up. Now, you take your choice. You go to prison for a few years or die this morning.
Don't shoot, Marshal. I'm quitting.
All right, then walk up here with your hands in the air.
I'm coming. Here you come, kid.
What's that? Who you talking to?
It's me, Marshal. Elsie.
What? Then you come out with your hands up, too, Elser.
We're coming.
Chester.
Yes, sir?
Come on in here. All right, that's far enough, you two. Stand right there.
Elser, so you was in on this?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't anywhere near that express office.
He was wearing a gun.
I got a right to wear a gun just like any other man.
He had nothing to do with that robbery, Marshal. Clerk and those men that followed me here can tell you that.
He was waiting here with your horses.
You can't prove that, Marshal.
Why are you standing up for him, Hander?
He's a good boy. People let him alone.
I ain't done a thing.
Chester, take Hander's gun.
Yes, sir. I got it, Mr. Dillon. What about Elser?
No, leave him alone. Step over here, Hander. Elser?
What, Marshal?
I still think you were waiting here to get away with Hander. But he's right about it being hard to prove.
I ain't done a thing, Marshal.
No, but you would have. Anyway, I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm taking Hander to jail now, and while I'm doing it, I want you to get out of Dodge. For good. And don't come back.
Kicking me around again, ain't you?
I've done all I can for you, Elsa. There's nothing more I can do. You're on your own now. All right, Hander, you know where the jail is. Start walking.
Sure, Marshal. So long, kid.
Let's go, Hander.
Mr. Dillon!
He was drawing on you, Mr. Dillon. He was going to shoot you in the back.
Is he dead?
He died before he hit the ground, Hander. I could see it from where I was standing.
Thanks for warning me, Chester.
I was just starting to follow you, and I seen him move out of the corner of my eye.
I had a feeling he might try it.
You did?
That's why I was half ready for it. Anyway, it's the first time I've been right about him. I sure guessed wrong up till now.
But it was worth it, Mr. Dillon. You're trying to help him, I mean.
No, not him, Chester. It was already too late to help him. I should have known that.
Gunsmoke, transcribed under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were Sam Edwards, Lawrence Dobkin, Joe Cranston, and John Daner. Harley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. Join us again this coming Saturday as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.
September 27th, 1954, Gunsmoke on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Part 4 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Meg's Palace Matter. This episode originally broadcast September 27th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Dr. Lionel Champion here, Mr. Dollar.
Who?
I'm surprised Meg McCarty didn't answer. I ordered her to keep you in bed there at her place until I could see you again.
I am in bed. And I take it you're the doctor who bandaged me up this way, put on this splint.
That's right.
After I tangled with the propeller of Captain Morgan's fishing boat this morning.
Yes, only it was yesterday.
Huh?
You were unconscious when the captain and his men brought you in. After treating you, I gave you sedation.
Oh.
Rest was the most important thing. How did you ever happen to fall off that boat?
Fall? Doctor, I was pushed.
Tonight, and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location Cod Harbor, Massachusetts, to the Intercoastal Maritime and Life Insurance Company, Boston. Assignment, The Meg's Palace Matter. Report and expense account continued. As soon as I hung up on Dr. Champion, I again checked the splint on my right leg and confirmed the suspicion that I couldn't possibly walk on it. Then, a few minutes later, Meg McCarthy came into my room. She carried a tray filled with enough food to choke a horse. And while I piled into it, she brought me up to date.
It's in Barnesboro that Dr. Champion has his office. And lucky it was for you he happened to be here in Cod Harbor on his weekly visit. Oh, you were a sorry-looking mess when the men brought you in.
Yesterday, the doctor said.
You've been out as cold as a codfish ever since. But I can tell by the looks that the rest has done a lot for you. How do you feel?
No matter of fact, Meg, I feel pretty good.
There, you see, you've got to take it easy, like the doctor said. Just lay there and rest and sleep and eat all the good food I bring you.
Yeah, except and unless I get up and going on this case.
You try that and I'll lash you to the bedpost. Doctor's orders is doctor's orders, so don't you try nothing different.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's a miracle, praise be, that propeller on the Lily Ann didn't cut you to ribbons.
Captain Billy and his crew brought me back here, huh?
Who else?
Where are they now?
Fishing out on the banks, of course. What did you expect? Don't you know they have to earn a living the same as me and you? And what about keeping up the payments on that seagoing bathtub? Precious little time they had for fishing yesterday after that fool trick you pulled falling off of her.
Is that what they told you happened?
Of course, what else?
Meg, which of the men told you I'd fallen off the boat?
Well, all of them. Only the first mate, young Charlie Montgomery, the engineer, and, of course, my Willie by himself, Captain Morgan, to you.
And they all told it the same way?
What? Why not? Should they be after making up fairy tales?
How did they tell it?
You're sure that screw didn't hit you on the head, too? You lost your memory?
How did they tell it, Meg? It's important.
Well, whilst they went about their chores, you were standing alone up in the bows. Then they heard you yell.
Yeah?
Despite of the darkness, they seen you splash in the phosphorescent wake. And there you were, being sucked under by the prop. That's all.
And they all told it the same?
Exactly the same. Even young Charlie Buttons kept saying it over and over. I saw it all.
Oh?
Like, well, you know, like he was still struck with the fear of what might have happened to you.
I wonder.
Well, stop wondering and get yourself some more sleep, or the doctor'll have me head. And if he does, I'll take it out on you. And believe me, Johnny boy, that will be a lot worse than the fool accident of yours ever was.
Meg, listen to me. It was no accident.
What?
I was thrown overboard.
Oh, Johnny boy, you're raving delirious out of your head.
I was leaning over the rail, watching the water, and a powerful pair of arms belonging to somebody aboard that boat picked me up and tossed me over.
Saints... Who?
Ole Jensen, young Charlie Buttons, Montgomery, or Captain Billy himself.
You start raving, Johnny. You must have got hit on the head.
And I'll bet my last buck that whoever did it is the same one who slugged me in the alley, the same one who's threatened to burn you out of this place of yours.
Oh, no.
And the minute I get up out of this bed, Tell me something.
Yes?
Tim Beasley, your police chief and mayor and so on.
Yes?
Has he been up here to see you?
That good-for-nothing blatherskite, no. And what's more, if he shows his ugly face in my establishment, I'll toss him out on his beam ends. But why do you ask?
Because I told him to get the threatening notes from you. Check them against the handwriting of several people here in Cod Harbor.
Who? Like that sniveling cousin of his, Clem Harris, that runs the Silver Plate Cafe?
Yeah, among others.
Well, he ain't been here, and I won't have him here.
I take it you and he don't get along.
Of course we don't.
Why?
Because ever since his cousin Clem has been in business, Tim has threatened to close me up.
For what reason?
For breaking town ordinances on restaurants. The kind he enforces over to Barnesboro.
Well, have you been breaking them?
No more than no less than dear cousin Clem or Tony 14 or Ernie Turner does after their hush joints. But me, he always is picking on, and why? Because I get most of the business from the fishermen. So you want a suspect in this case, Johnny boy?
You've named them for me, Meg. The other cafe owners.
All right, so I'll give you one. Tim Beasley and Clem Harris working in cahoots. And if it wasn't one of them waylaid you in the alley...
Whoa, wait a minute. Neither of them could have been aboard the Lily Ann.
Then you must have fell.
Oh, Meg, when is the doctor coming to see me?
He should be here by now.
Well, if he doesn't come pretty soon, I'm getting up and going, orders or no orders.
Johnny?
Motives, suspects. Why, Meg McCarthy herself could have rigged this whole thing. Called me in as a cover-up while she burned up her place to collect $15,000 insurance. Even her intended, Captain Billy Morgan, who'd collect her life insurance if she were to die in a fire. Tim Beasley, lazy slob of a general factotum in Cod Harbor, to put Meg's palace out of business on behalf of his cousin, Clem Harris, or Clem himself, or one of Captain Billy's crew for some reason I hadn't yet fathomed. Half an hour later, Dr. Champion arrived, looked me over, and then went to work with a pair of bandage shears.
So now we'll take off that splint.
Oh, but if something's broken, Doc.
Not a thing broken, Mr. Dollar. Just an old trick of mine.
Huh?
You needed absolute rest until I could see you again. And from what I've heard about you, you wouldn't have taken it unless I fooled you into it. And that was the sole reason for the splint.
Doc, you're a wonder.
There we are. And in view of your surprisingly good condition, I'd say you may be up and around as soon as you honestly feel able. Say, even tomorrow, perhaps.
Item 8, $10 for medical services. All the Dr. Champion would accept. Needless to say, as soon as he left, I planned to get up and get to work. But as he walked out the door, Meg brought Captain Billy in to visit and sympathize. So, in hope of keeping him off guard, I played real sick. Then Ole and Montgomery came in, too. But I needed to get these men alone, and I must admit, be feeling better than I did. And then I realized that young Charlie hadn't come. I asked about him.
To Barnesboro, Johnny. He said as long as the doctor was keeping you in bed 2 or 3 days, he could see you when he gets back.
But wait a minute.
He went to pick up some supplies for Meg here like he always does. Gives him a chance to drop in on his sister where he keeps his Sunday clothes and things.
He wasn't out on the boat with you today?
Meg spoils a lad that way, always has him going in for supplies when I need him the most.
Look here now, Willie boy. You talk like I was the one picked today.
Well, of course you did.
Of
You always
course
do.
I didn't, and don't you tell me. He said it was you.
You're off your course, Miss
I
McCarthy.
am.
You know blasted
And
well
don't
it's yours.
you shake your finger at me, you blue
You pipe down, woman. Do you want Mr. Dollar to have a relapse?
You. Oh, Johnny boy. I'm sorry. Shut up, Bill.
It's okay, Meg.
And
But
Willie
tell me
boy.
that-
I'm sorry if I seem to be raising my voice at you.
Oh, bless you, Meg. It's that fiery spirit that keeps me loving you. Yeah, but now, why don't we leave the poor man alone to recover, huh? Come on, boys.
Yes, come on, all of you. Out you go.
After you, Meg.
Oh,
After
my,
you.
how polite we are.
Montgomery, wait.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, got nothing to do for you to ease your bed of pain. A little drink or something? I've a bottle aboard the Lily Ann.
No, thanks. I want to talk to you about Charlie.
A real fine lad he is. Now, I'm sure he'll be wanting to see you when he gets back from his visit in town.
No, wait. Captain Morgan said he has a sister in Barnesboro. Do you know the address?
Oh, that I do. Many's a fine meal we've had from her on our time off.
Well, I want to see her. You know, just a little personal thing.
Oh, then here, I'll write down the address for you. She lives in a pretty little house on the corner of Rosewood Island.
Maybe Montgomery was the wrong one to ask. I don't know. But I had to gamble somewhere along the line. And if my suspicions about Charlie Buttons was right, I hoped I wouldn't be too late. When Montgomery had left, I sneaked out the back door to avoid Meg and hurried over to Tim Beasley's office in the shack that functioned as Cod Harbor City Hall. He wasn't there. A woman who lived next door informed me he'd taken off in a hurry to Barnesboro. So Beasley had gone to town after Charlie. Or had he? For $25, that's item 9, I rented a creaky old truck and headed for Barnesboro. Charlie's sister's house was on a gravel road out on the edge of town. There was no other car there, so I stopped in front of the place, got out, and walked up to the front door.
Sorry, mister, but my sister... Mr. Dollar.
Hello, Charlie.
Yeah, I meant to say, why did you come in? Sure glad to see you're all right, Mr. Dollar.
Are you?
That sure was awful. You're falling off the boat that way.
What's the matter, Charlie? Aren't you feeling good?
Yeah, sure. Sure I am.
You look a little pale. And say... Well... Packing up to leave, huh?
Yeah, Well, I'm tired of the fishing business, Mr. Dollar. Gonna give it up. Go somewhere else to earn a living. Tired of it, yeah.
Why did you do it, Charlie?
Huh? I don't know what you mean.
It took somebody who knew that boat pretty well to sneak up on me in the dark and push me overboard. Took a strong, young pair of arms to do it, too. Yours, weren't they? Well...
I didn't want to do it, Mr. Dollar. So help me, I didn't want to. But he made me.
Yeah? Who made you?
He found out. He found out about me, about my record.
What record?
That I'd killed a man once, accidentally, when I was just a kid. That I'd run out and escaped from the reformatory. Look, now I'm grown. If they ever catch me, they'll hang me or the electric chair up for life, and he knew that.
Charlie.
If I didn't do anything he said, like slugging you or trying to start the fires or anything, he'd give me away. So I had to, don't you see? I couldn't help myself. He made me do everything.
Charlie, who, Charlie, who?
It's all right. You don't need to rough me up, Dollar. I knew I'd get caught up with someday. I'll go quiet with you. And maybe you'll help to try and get things easy for me.
Charlie, who made you try to kill me?
Yeah, I'll tell you. It was so he could get you out of the way and burn up Meg's palace and her with it. I'll tell you, Mr. Dollar, it was... Oh, no.
Huh?
There, at the window, behind you.
That old trick? Oh, no, you...
Help!
The boy fell against me, pinning me to the floor. And as I pushed him away, I saw the patch of red slowly spreading on the front of his shirt directly above the heart. By the time I got to the window, a car had taken off down the old gravel road and was completely obscured by a thick cloud of dust. And I wondered for whom the shot that killed Charlie had really been intended.
Now, here's our star to tell you about the final episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, a killer strikes again. But one of his victims rises from the grave to strike back. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. It is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote this week's story. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
September 27th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at our webpage, classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn more about classic radio collecting, find our social media links, contact me, and if you like what we do here, you can buy me a coffee. That buy me a coffee money goes toward us acquiring new classic radio collections to bring to you here on your favorite station. And tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.